Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Cinema Savvy video. I'm joined today with Chris. It is I, Tate, and we are going to be reviewing another film from the London Film Festival this year. This film is called Farewell Amor. I didn't actually know much about this film going into it at all. I saw it on the festival list. I saw that it was getting a lot of praise, and I decided to go and watch it this morning, and I actually quite enjoyed myself. So we'll get into that in a second. But before we go into the review, we need our socials up. So go find us on Facebook, where we will be posting all of our information about our upcoming videos. Same as well on Twitter, that is at @UnderCinemaSavvy. And if you go into the description, you can pick up a t-shirt from TeePublic. And also, if you're watching at home and you are looking at films from London Film Festival, tell us what you're looking forward to see. Tell us if you've seen anything so far. Let us know your thoughts on this film as well, Farewell Amor. Chris, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well. So we should say I actually haven't seen this film. This is kind of a running thing on these London Film Festival videos, and I sound like a broken record at this point, but there's a lot of movies released. We've had to create like our own personal spreadsheet of films when they're released, films that we want to see personally, films that we want to see as a group. And reviews that we need to get out and when you need to see those films by. So obviously we all have lives. We can't see everything together. So we're sort of spreading ourselves out a little bit. You're watching some films on your own, as has George, as has myself. And but we're still here to do a review. So I know nothing about this film, Tate, so you need to sell this film to me.
I need to sell this film.
Give me the initial pitch about what this film's about for anyone who doesn't know what this film, Farewell Amor, is about.
So to start off with, I'll talk about the actual basis of this film, as in where this film concept came from and stuff like that, because this is the brainchild of Ekwe. I'm going to say this now. There are a lot of African names I have to pronounce here. I know I have African origins myself, but
good luck, my friend.
This can be very difficult to pronounce these names. We've got Ekwe Mzangi, who is the director of this. She made the short film in 2016 of the same title, Farewell Amor.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was called Farewell Amor or My Amor. And it was meant to be kind of a short film of a person who'd gone to America and the family had come across and met him a few years later. And it was kind of the trials and kind of the difficulty that comes with being separated as a family over a long period of time. The actual film that it turned into, however, was this Angolan family from Angola. Obviously, he's gone away from Angola during the Angolan Civil War. They have fled away to Tanzania, and he has gone further on to America to get a job, get a good life, and stuff like that. So he's gone to America for 17 years. He's now earned enough money to bring his family over, to bring his wife and his now child, who is younger than, like, she is 17.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he left the wife when she was pregnant whilst fleeing the country, and he has now earned enough money to pay for their visas, pay for their documentation. So they are now coming over to America, to a society that he's already kind of integrated himself into, got used to, and he's bringing over his wife and his now daughter, who he doesn't know, into this society. This entire film is, I mean, the basis of this film is basically the meaning of what is home. What is it like to be part of a family? How is it to move house? How is it to reintegrate yourself into a society? And how cultures can be very different, coming from an African, very Christian kind of based culture into America, where it's meant to be like the land of the free and stuff like that. And it's got all of this kind of, I want to say capitalism. It's got all of these opportunities. It's got the Western world opportunities that you don't usually get in these kind of Central African countries. This film was quite moving. This film deals a lot with kind of the love between the three members and kind of the lost love that may be there and stuff like that. I mean, if you were separated from your family for 17 years, would you still have the same feelings about them afterwards? There's a scene towards the start of the film where, when she initially arrives, she says, "I've been speaking to my pastor. He says the best way that we could get back to knowing each other is by immediately becoming intimate." And she tries to kind of, she strips in front of him and stuff like that, and he's kind of very standoffish about it, because obviously he hasn't seen this person in 17 years.
Yeah.
And even though he loves her and he loves his family, it's that kind of disconnect of, well, I haven't seen you in 17 years. I need to get to know you again. Like
Mhm.
both of us have changed in our own ways. So in the end, the story is actually told from the three perspectives. So there is 30 minutes dedicated to our main character called Walter, played by Ntam Wine.
Well, I was actually going to ask that. That was going to be
Yeah.
one of my questions. Is that I saw that it's the three characters are Sylvia, Esther, and Walter.
Yes.
Does the film structure itself where it's told with all three of them together on screens to show that sense of bonding, or is it split three ways between each one, and you get to know each person individually and their own struggles from moving to the country?
So it's split three ways. And it actually has the character name come up on the screen when it splits between stories, and it all goes back to that one scene of him like picking them up from the airport.
Right.
So there's half an hour into the life of, half an hour into the life of, half an hour into the life of, and then there's another 15 minutes at the end to just kind of tie all the loose ends together, bring
that's quite good. Yeah.
And it was very well done in that same fact, because you see repeated events from different sides, and you see kind of the way that they've interpreted the event. And the first time you watch it, you obviously get one interpretation. So there's one scene where the daughter, who is played by Nana Manesh, called, oh wait, no, that's the wrong person, isn't it? Jamie Lawson, sorry, playing Sylvia, who is the young girl, and she brings her friend home, who she's met through dance and stuff like that, and the mother comes back in, and obviously the first time around we see it from the daughter's perspective of, oh, I'm just bringing him back to my home, I'm just being friendly and stuff like that, just offering him a drink, and the mother comes in, and suddenly it's like the mother's like, get out of my house and stuff like that, and there's a whole drama there. You then see it from the mother's perspective. She's been home alone all day. She's then had to go out and do kind of house jobs and stuff like that. She still isn't used to kind of the American society. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't really know what to do. She's making friends with her neighbors and stuff like that. And she's afraid that her daughter is already kind of distancing herself from her.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that kind of thing of her not breaking down, but kind of having that, look, my daughter's already starting to kind of integrate, but I'm not integrating. She's distancing herself from me. And my only kind of hobby in life is through God and stuff like that, and through church, and she isn't even going to church anymore. She's not even praying. So the second she sees a boy being brought into the house, what do you expect her reaction to be? It's not going to be a good one.
Bad news.
It's that kind of storytelling which I like to see. And I don't know if we're going to go into spoilers on this one. It's very difficult to kind of...
That's up to you. I did have another question. I was going to say,
yeah, go for it.
You mentioned that the film is split three ways between the three characters. Is there one storyline that's particularly more compelling than the others, or do each of them get a chance to shine? Is there sort of one weak link in terms of the film, or is it all very consistent in terms of the quality?
The story going throughout is that Walter hasn't actually known his own daughter, and it's him trying to get close to his daughter. And I'd say that was I don't want to say it's the lesser story, but that story that kind of takes a backseat towards the end. She goes off, does a dance competition. She finds something that she loves doing, and she's accepted kind of into American culture through dance. And he's completely okay with that because he's obviously naturalized, but the wife isn't. The main storyline that got me hooked here was the fact that he's obviously been in America for 17 years. I don't know if this is a comment on just people in general. If you're away from someone for 17 years in a country like America, I mean, Chris, I don't know about you, but I'm
pleading the fifth on this one, my friends. I know what I do, and ladies and gentlemen, do not act like me. Do as I say, not as I do.
But he has an affair. He finds someone, and it's a very compelling plot because the person who he confides in, the person who he gets close to over these years, is someone who is very kind of helpful and pushes him to get the visas pushed through. She helps getting the visas so he can be reunited with his wife. So you know that he cares about his wife in this situation. And he's only really there for just kind of the deed or just kind of for the comfort of it. But he truly, his loyalties do still belong to his wife. It's a very difficult situation. It's a very difficult
layers.
situation.
Layers. This is good. This is good stuff.
And I was like, oh, so he's had an affair. Oh, okay, dirty scumbag. And then when he goes, she was the one who pushed me to get the papers pushed through. She was the one who helped me get you here. She was the one who helped me raise the money. And you suddenly go, oh, so it wasn't kind of that kind of relationship. Okay.
So it wasn't his. So do you think then had she not have said that in that situation, do you think he would have? Or do you think he would have been quite happy with this new life that he'd made with this woman that he found?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's a very difficult situation. He seems like quite a loving kind of person, and the one thing that he really does want is to get to know his daughter. But because he's focusing so much time on his daughter, he's rejecting his wife from getting intimate. He's kind of saying to his wife, like, it's very different in America. You can't be just like preaching things to everyone and stuff like that, and like going off with like the African style of Christianity, like that very kind of harsh, almost Old Testament kind of mentality and stuff like that to a lot of things. And it does become a very difficult dilemma for Walter as a character, to kind of have in mind what he's experienced over the last 17 years, but know what has happened in the 17 years that have gone. And that is a very compelling story. And I will say this now. I'm spoiling the film here because it's the only way that I can talk about this part of the story. But he loves her, he cares about her, but he doesn't love her in that way anymore. And that does become a problem towards the end, because he once again refuses to get intimate with her. He once again tries to take her out on a date and says, like, I want to try, and it just doesn't work, and it breaks down. And he's left in the situation of, well, shit, I've just brought her to this country with all the money that I had, and she's now stuck here in this situation with me. And the only place where she can live is with me, and I want my daughter to have a life here, and I want my daughter to live with me. And you know me, Chris, I love a bittersweet ending.
It sounds bittersweet, Tayte. This sounds very bittersweet.
They don't tell the daughter about their troubles. Both of the parents bite their tongue and just pretend to be a happy family.
Oh, this is something like the ending of The Graduate. Oh, I love it. This is good. This is some good stuff.
One other thing I want to talk about is the music.
Before we move on, sorry, Carl in the comments, you must admit, you've sold me on the film, so congratulations, Tayte.
I'm doing a good job here. The music really pushes this film. I was expecting this film to kind of not have a score, or kind of have a very backgroundy score and stuff like that. But the radio is always on in the background and stuff like that. You can always hear music going on. You have the dance scenes, which obviously have music paired to them. But then also the actual score of the film, it hits very, very hard. And I wasn't expecting to be hit this hard by kind of this kind of film. But when they're talking about their troubles to each other and saying, I love you, but I don't love you in that way anymore, and stuff like that, like the score really kicks in. It starts slow and it just builds up, and you just see it in each other's eyes. And it's just, it is brilliant.
I'm actually trying to see who did the music to this film, and I can't find it in the credits. It must be on here somewhere.
Maybe
I'm just on IMDb. Yeah, no, that's definitely one to check out then in terms of the music. I guess the final question that I have, because I don't know if you have much more you can say on the film, but the BFI website dubs this as a glimpse into the experiences of New York's African immigrant population. What is your final takeaway? Does it effectively show the struggles of that immigration from one country to the next? Do you think it could have gone further in some aspects, or do you think it did do it justice, that sort of that issue, that topic?
It doesn't really touch on racism at all in the film, which I'll be honest, I found quite surprising. I don't want to say it was quite refreshing, but it was a different take on the struggles that you wouldn't normally see. A different take on how people would experience that and how they would react to that as well. And the struggles of all three of them, because not a single person comes out of this film completely gleaming. Like, all of them really do not have a good time in this film getting to connect and getting to know each other, and they kind of wear through it towards the end. But in the end, I would genuinely say that this is a depiction of trying to mend a family that has been separated and broken. And I think the best way I could describe it is, if continents drift apart and then get put back together again, the shores will be eroded, the puzzle won't fit. And that's basically what this film is. And it's very well done. I really enjoyed it. I do kind of want to see the short film that led up to it now and see what the major differences would have been in there. But I would highly recommend, I will probably see this film again at some stage, because I genuinely found it to be quite a compelling feature.
Awesome. Well, you've sold me on it too. You've sold Paul, you've sold me on it. I'm just trying to see when this does get an official release. So it's got that it's available now on the, if you're on the BFI player, from the 9th to the 12th. Okay, so it must have been an early screening, so 9th to the 12th. That'll probably be when you get your chance to see it. The screenings are very weird how it works on the player itself, in that you pretty much have like a set time, maybe an hour after that film goes up, to watch it. I don't know if that's the same for every movie, but I know that's been.
I don't think it will. When it goes live on the actual BFI player for public access, I don't think it'll be the same. I think it'll just be available for that set amount of time, those days, and then it'll be off again.
So yeah, so Carl says as well, will this be coming to streaming, or is it just on the BFI player? According to the website, this is just going to be on the BFI player from 8:45 BST on Friday the 9th of October until 9:15 on Monday the 12th of October. So you've got the weekend essentially to get it watched on that BFI player. So if I'm free, if I'm available, I might try and check it out. I might be busy this weekend, and I've got a whole bunch more movies to watch.
I was going to say it was nominated for the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance. So
okay.
It is a recognized film. It is up there. I just hope that people actually get to see it. I did compare it before the review to Nocturnal from last year as a film that people should see but probably won't be seen. Thankfully, that review has actually had a massive boost recently because it has been put out on stream platforms and stuff like that. Nice. And people have suddenly gone to go and see it. And thankfully, they will go and see it as well, just based off that. But hopefully that will get the same this film will get the same kind of reception in the end. I really do hope so.
Awesome. So that'll do it for our review on Farewell Amor. This is not the only video that you'll see on our channel. We have a pre-recorded review on Siberia, which is the new Willem Dafoe film. I don't have many thoughts on that, but I have some very interesting thoughts on that. It's a very fun review. I did that with George last night. So if you want to watch us talk more movies, if you want to see more of these reviews on the BFI London Film Festival reviews, come back in like an hour's time, less than an hour's time now. I think that goes up at 8 o'clock. So you got a bit of a break. Go grab some food, go grab a drink, come back and watch another one of our movie reviews.
So many reviews coming out at the moment.
loads. And some of them as well are ones that you'll be seeing. I can guarantee you'll be seeing them at the Oscars next year.
Yeah,
there's big reviews coming out for One Night in Miami. You've got Nomadland. You're going to be seeing these big powerhouse.
Tomorrow, Mangrove.
Tomorrow, Mangrove. I think all three of us will probably be on the review for that one.
And Kajillionaire?
And Kajillionaire. I can't make Kajillionaire, so that's probably going to be you and George on that one. But yes, many more movies, and we will be keeping you locked in with all of our reviews on them as we get through them. Carl says, Amazon has an offer for 3 months of the BFI player, £1 for anyone interested. Also, well, thanks for that shout out, anyone who comes across this.
You want to watch this film for £1 and many films more, go and figure that out, you know?
Absolutely. That's a great shout, Carl. Thank you very much for that, by the way, man. And yeah, so handing over to Tate for one more last blast of the socials, and then we'll close off.
So, guys, be sure to follow us on Facebook. It's where we put all of our information going into these reviews. Be sure to go and follow us on Twitter as well, at cinema_savvy. Go and get the T-shirts, which I'm wearing today, from TeePublic. And please comment below with the films you're looking forward to seeing at the LFF, the London Film Festival, as well as any of the films you've seen already. Just in any of the chats, just let us know how you're getting on with the festival, what films you're looking forward to, what films you've seen so far. Please also share this and subscribe. We are getting closer to that 2,000 goal that we want by the end of the year.
Coming towards it. We're getting closer. And
creeping there.
yes, so that'll do it for our video for right now. Less than an hour, Siberia review. Don't miss it. It's a very fun review, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.